Good evening, everyone. Myself, Deepak Mahto, I work in Go Cloud. And over here, I just want to share my affection for PSQL. That is something that we use to connect and talk to Postgres, right? So we talk a lot about Postgres, but it's also important to talk about the tools that we use to talk to it, right? So I just want to share that affection with all of you and hope you also have the same love that I have for PSQL. So going to the next slide, I need. So I just want to share you some of the tips at every level and how we use it for different use case. So to understand the internal queries of what is happening within Postgres, PSQL has an option to echo all the queries that is happening. And it gives you a lot of insight on what different things that PSQL use to get those information back to you. A very simple flag just to enable it and get all the information being displayed as part of PSQL itself. So that's the very first thing that we use a lot where I need to query any internals and don't have to spend the time to Google it. I just enable it, use the shortcut that PSQL offer, and get the query from it. Now moving it further, we all like to code some part into database itself. PGSQL is one of the things that we all use for using and creating function procedure. How about integrating your favorite editor directly with PSQL? And that also is possible with PSQL itself. You just set some flag, use your editor of your choice, and you can edit your functions procedure on the fly with your editor. And everything is possible with PSQL. And it's very important to understand also is that not all the ecosystem where you work, you might have access to a tool which is UI driven. In most of the cases, you'll connect from terminal. Now this is, again, one more option where you take an output of a query and want to run an other query out of it, so you don't have to build it. So basically, a query itself gives you a query to do a lot of operation. The example that you see is that we can do a count, build that in select, and let PSQL execute that for you. And it can happen at different levels. So I can run an alter, all of those in a single go. So basically, the idea is to accelerate the tasks that you do and use all of this tool to make it happen in a very easy way. Now, this is one of the very interesting things that PSQL offer. So I think most of us are a user who does not use vanilla Postgres directly. Most of them also use a managed service from one of the cloud that we prefer. And every cloud has its own feature on top of what Postgres offer. Now, if you want to build your own custom queries on top of it, PSQL offers shortcuts for it. And idea is shortcut is basically an automation to save your time to get those data, right? So this is a sample that we have built on top of AlloyDB, where all the columnar engine internal metadata we are able to get from shortcuts. So using the feature that PSQL offer and integrating with the managed service query. So it gives you a lot of option to play around. And this helped me to have a demo which is impactful because we are not creating a lot of queries in front of when we share it about it. So this is also one of the interesting pieces on how to use it. So this we can use it by configuring the configuration that PSQL offers. Changing password is also one of the interesting pieces that PSQL offers. And why I'm putting it over here is, in case you have your log statement enabled, and even if you have an alter query being fired by changing password, it will get log in your log. And this option avoid that because it will mask the password that you share. A very simple option, but an easier way to change password instead of actually doing an alter command to do that. Now this is something that I use. I'm a bit impatient when I want to look for an output. And I don't want to run that query each time again and again. So simple option is watch. And in latest release, we added some more configuration to it where you control the interval, the count, and all of those. So again, a very good option to basically monitor the queries that you're running. And just a fun part, so I can print, if I'm bored, I try to print the emojis from PSQL itself. So I don't have to go for other platform to do that. So I'm printing some emoji over here, as you can see, directly from PSQL. Yeah, so hope you also have the same affection that I have. And in case you're more interested around those, you can always refer the link or the blog that I have, where I talk more about those. Thank you.